Okay. Am I connected now? And yes, so trying to find out solutions to our tech video, more than a bit long, and then it's beat. Okay, so I'm passing on to Marlon to so Marlon, I'll pass it over to you. Take over. Hello,
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? All right. So, thank you for introducing me as the moderator, the first moderator to introduce the first speaker. So, I would like to introduce the first speaker, which is Mary. But before I introduce Mary, I would like to give a brief intro about myself. I am actually the researcher of GSE, that is a part of the research team. And then um, also I'm executive aide, and also I am the manager of Metaverse Times. And Metaverse Times is a website that's where we post articles about the metaverse, where we post articles about the metaverse. And then what I do that every day, I draft out articles to post training articles on that website. And the URL is the metaverse.com. So you can freely visit that website to get more articles about what's trending now in the metaverse. So without wasting much time, I would like to introduce our first speaker, that is Mary Okon, and give a brief intro about Mary. So Mary is actually the co-founder of Metaport. She attended the University of UU, where she studied food science and technology, and she has a BSc in BSc in food science and technology. And then she became a general manager of Clifford and Drinks. And currently, she's actually the chief operations officer of the ENA place, and she's also an enthusiast of blockchain technology, UI, and the UX. She's actually a product of West Africa. Those of you who know Meltwater Entrepreneurship, where it's a hub that's actually trying to leverage on technology. When you talk about the startups here in Ghana, Mest actually tops one of the startups in Africa. So Mary is a product of West Africa, and she's an EIT of West Africa. And she's also interested in marketing and the business development. Without wasting much time, I would like to introduce Mary as the first speaker. Thank you very much. So, Mary, welcome.
Thank you so much, Malone. Thank you, Godfred. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, please.
Great. Right. Good morning. Thank you guys for having me here. I'm really excited to be a part of this panel. And without much ado, I'd like to jump right into it. Okay, so I'd like to share my screen, Malone. So we can get started. All right, just a second.
All right, please, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Just a second. Okay. 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 All right. So I'll be talking about Web 3.0, the next iteration of the World Wide Web. So I wanted to start with introducing myself as Mary Okon, but I think Malone has done a very amazing job at doing that already for me. So I'll just say I'm the co-founder of Metaport Business League, and what we do at Metaport is to help onboard people into Web3 and into blockchain and cryptocurrency tech ecosystem. So we're an education platform that aims to educate Africans and help them get acquainted with the new technology. Moving right into it. So today we'll be talking about Web3, the evolution, and what's the future holds for Web3. So before doing that, I think I'd like to speak a bit about Web 1.0 and take us on the journey to Web3. Okay, so with Web 1.0, I'm pretty sure this should give the slide should give a bit of an idea. Where you had all the all the funny looking computers with green and black flying around, and it was just mostly text based. You couldn't leave comments, you couldn't do anything. It was just to go on the platform and read about, news, or read an article that was being published, and that was about it. So for Web 1.0 started from about 1990, first iteration of the World Wide Web started from about 1990 to 2004. You had more details about, text-based. There were not a lot of graphics, and even if there were, you couldn't really interact with the content that you come across on the World Wide Web. So from there, we moved on to the internet as we know it now, which we call Web 2.0. Web 2.0 is different from Web 1 in the sense that you started having people like YouTube or companies like Google and Amazon. Now, the difference is that interactivity was introduced. And what I mean by that is the fact that unlike the first web version where all you could do was to read, all you could do was to consume, this particular version allows you to interact with content. So you see that you can go on Instagram and you can view somebody's picture, you can like the picture, you can comment on it, you can watch YouTube videos, or you can also post your videos. So Web 2.0 has allowed a lot of interactivity and has allowed people to, be able to share more on all these platforms, and not just be able to consume, but they are also partakers, or they are also contributors to the internet. Yeah, so far that's what Web 2.0 has let us do. And moving on to Web 3.0, we like to call it the future. So Web 3.0 basically started in 2014, and we call it the future iteration of the web. And what that is meant to help you do is it's meant to help you read, it's meant to help you write, and it's meant to help you own, with the owning being the major part of it. So like I said before, currently, where you're on WhatsApp, you're on Instagram, and you're wondering, oh, who is using my data? Where's all my data going to? You want to download TikTok, or you're worried about who's in control of TikTok, what are they using my data for? You're worried about a whole lot of things. And the fact that it's just one body, like one central entity, is sitting somewhere and is in control of all this data and all this information. You'd have to agree on it that that's a very powerful place to be in control of billions of people, like millions of people's data. Like it's crazy. So what Web 3.0 is going to help do, or is trying to do at this point, is to give power back to the users. So when you consume content, I'm going to use one nice example that I like. It's the name of the application is Odyssey. Odyssey is not entirely Web3, based on the fact that it still has some properties of Web2. So, for example, it's still hosted on your regular Web2 servers and all that. But what Odyssey does is Odyssey is like the Web3 version of YouTube. So you go to YouTube and you interact with content, you also upload content, but that's about it. Who gets paid is the person who creates the content. What Odyssey does is Odyssey allows earning for everybody. So you go on Odyssey, you'll be able to consume content that creators have posted, but not just consuming content, you get paid for it. You get paid in cryptocurrency for actually consuming data that people consuming contents that people have posted, for contributing to the community. So the whole idea of Web 3.0 is the fact that you get to own what you post. That's one. But you also get to earn while you're interacting with things on Web 3.0. So it makes it quite interesting that you do not just have to sit down and be worried about one person controlling all your data and the it being just a one-way street. It goes both ways with Web 3.0. That's just some of the amazing things that could happen with Web 3.0. Yeah, so there are core concepts of Web 3.0, and I would like to start with the fact that Web 3.0 is just an iteration of the World Wide Web, meaning it has gone through the first phase, it is in the second phase, and Web 3 is supposed to be the third phase of the iteration. Now, another key difference for this iteration is the fact that, like I mentioned before, the first two versions were hosted on things like AWS, that's Amazon Web Services. It's hosted on your traditional servers and all that. But what Web 3.0 is going to work on or is working on is on the blockchain. I'm sure a couple of people have heard about blockchain this, blockchain that. I'm not sure what the level of education of or in the space or knowledge in the space of our listeners are, but I'll just take a quick overview. So the blockchain is a technology that is based on it's a distributed ledger. So imagine that you would have to carry out a transaction, but normally you write down your transaction on one book or inside one book or put it on one computer. What the blockchain technology helps you do is that it's a distributed ledger. So if you have a transaction with 5 people, those 5 people are going to have a copy of the transaction ledger. So it helps with decentralization, and that's one of the key concepts that Web 3.0 is based on. It's based on the fact that not one person, not one entity like Google or Amazon will have control over what goes on. So Facebook is not just going to wake up and say, hey, we are shutting this down, or this feature is no longer going to be working because of this. It becomes more like a community thing where a couple of people have to go through a number of agreements or process before things can be implemented. So yes, that's that. Then another concept of Web3 is the fact that it is permissionless. Permissionless in the sense that you do not need approval from anyone to view data on Web3. Unlike when you get to, let's say you go to Facebook and you have to request to do something or request to check something. That's what Web 2.0 currently gives. But with Web 3.0, everything is transparent. It brings that transparency. That's why it's called permissionless. So you're able to see and track data. You can get somebody's address and view what the person has. You do not need to send a message to the person to ask for the passcode or whatever to be able to view data. It is open to everybody. That transparency is a major part of what Web 3.0 is built on. Then the last one is that it is trustless. Interestingly, so what all these are key concepts of the blockchain, which Web 3.0 is built on. So trustless in the sense that you do not need a third party, aka you don't need Amazon, you don't need Google, you don't need somebody to be, a need point, for you to be able to interact with the web. If I go back to this, you would see that the difference between this Web 2.0 was that there was a midfielder, which is a central authority. But when you come to Web 3.0, you can see that it's just between, let's say, Godfred and myself. So Godfred wants to, an example of that is cryptocurrencies. Godfred wants to send me money. Godfred does not have to, he doesn't have to go to a bank. All he needs is his wallet. And he needs a wallet, he needs my wallet address, and he can send me the money he wants to send without approval from any third party or, any rules and regulations like that. That's what the blockchain affords us. Yeah, so I'll just like to round up with the fact that Web 3.0 is built on a core concept called blockchain technology. And this blockchain technology allows for transparency, it allows for decentralization, meaning no one person can be in control of everything that happens. And it also eliminates the need for trust before transactions can be carried out. And most importantly, this iteration of the web is meant to give power back to the users and not just creators and shareholders. I'd like to end with that. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I'm sure there will be opportunity to ask questions later. So I'll just hand over to Malone.
All right, thank you very much, Mary Okon. And during the presentation, Mary Okon mentioned Web3, which is blockchain technology, being the future. And she also mentioned blockchain being a trustless platform. And really, the blockchain is actually a platform that has no ownership. And I mean, it's always been true that it's Satoshi Nakamoto who created the blockchain, but there are other people who have different views about the blockchain, say that it has no ownership and other things. So, without wasting much time, I want to thank you, Mary Okon, for such a good presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Sure. So, the next speaker, we have Victor Tagolo. And Victor Tagolo is actually a product of the Premier University, that's University of Ghana. Please don't get me wrong. Yeah, he was a product of University of Ghana. And when we talk about tech, there's one thing we don't talk about, that is aeronautics. And I'm sorry, let me start my video, please. Yeah, so that's me. Yeah, so we don't talk about aeronautics. And this is a man who is passionate about engineering space, that's the aeronautical engineering. And he has a vision of combining factors in order for Ghana to go into the space before 2030. And he is the CEO of Galaxy IT Group. And Galaxy IT Group is just like Planetarium Ghana, where they are most grounded in anything that has to do with space. So I would want to introduce Mr. Victor as the second speaker. So Mr. Victor, please you can take over. Thank you very much. All right, I think it's wrapping up to come up. So before he comes up, I want to say that he is also a computer engineer at Edinburgh Napier University, where he did an MSc, and he is also an enthusiast in cybersecurity tech, cybersecurity valley. So he was once also an administrator of MTN Ghana Limited. So you could deduce from this that for all the life of Mr. Victor, he has been in the tech space and he knows much about the tech space. So I think he's ready to come on stage. So please let's welcome him. You can please take over. Victor, please you can turn on your audio and then speak. I think your audio is off.
Is it okay?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so I'm Victor. I'm the CEO of Galaxy IT Group. It's a group of companies. We have NGOs trying to champion a cause. Then we have limited liability companies in the space of technology, trying to bring change to the environment and society and in Ghana as a whole. I've had my education in the UK and I've stayed in the UK for a couple of years. So I decided to come back and hey, try and do something for society. So I met Godfred some time back on LinkedIn, and he introduced me to this program. So I will not waste so much time, but go straight to the point without any presentation. I think I'm supposed to talk about big tech players in Ghana and what it means to the youth. Google, Twitter, Microsoft, Uber, and the rest. So the global economy is gradually changing at a faster rate, and the current jobs are disappearing, and new jobs are also emerging as a result of what? Technological advancement and automation. That one, we are not going back. The future is clear, and the message should be sent out there to every child, every adult, every nation out there that technology is really taking over the world, and it's really increasing the consciousness and awareness of wherever you find yourself. So my message to the youth, with this coming of this tech giants coming to Ghana, and some of us who are here in Ghana and we are emerging, trying to also place ourselves in a local scheme to make sure that we are also taking part in the growing economy of this world. So the empires of the future are empires of the mind. Winston Churchill, one of the Prime Minister of Great Britain, said this in the 1960s, and what he meant was that the future is about the mind, it's about ideas, it's about entrepreneurship, it's about building on already existing structures to build something for the future. So if you want to build an empire, it's really not about money, it's about technology, and it's about the mind. When you look at what do you call it? Facebook doesn't have content, but it uses other people's content to generate money. I hope you guys are getting me. And when you look at Uber doesn't have taxis, but it's just an app. A lot of people are using Uber and making money out of it, and Uber too is making money out of it. So really, when you talk about tech space, we want the coming generation to really go into entrepreneurship and techpreneurship, to be precise, because you can just sit behind your laptop, create something for society, and money will just come to you. So the benefits of these tech companies coming to Ghana are conducive environment for entrepreneurship. Yes. Most of the people, most young ones coming up, it's not really about the university education. It's not about certificate. Certificate will not take you anywhere. We've all been through it, and this is where we are. So we want people to really build skills, especially with coding. The foundation of everything in the future is about computer coding. You can never run away from it. Whether you want to become a lawyer, a doctor, a judge, or a salesperson, whatever, you can never run away from coding. You can never run away from automation or AI. It's just coming to you. And also growing tech space, innovative in keeping their business running. You have to be innovative. You need to get a website to keep your business running and make it very, very convenient for other people to notice you. Because Bill Gates once said that if your company is not having a website, your business does not actually exist. And also provide collaboration platform to exchange ideas. So we, the younger generations, we need to come together in a group to share ideas, because ideas does not come from one person, it comes from all of us. Our problems and solutions are just within us. And also STEM education. Ghana, our educational system does not build entrepreneurs. So that's another thing. So the current curriculum in Ghana does not build entrepreneurs. So parents who are smart should get programs for their wards and get them digital devices. So that is what is going to really define the future. You can never run away from it. You can go to school, all right, but add on to practical skills, be innovative, especially coding, and also learning about other tools, and also opportunities for the youth. Acquiring digital skills in software engineering, cloud computing, cybersecurity, and AI is just the best into the future. The future is about softwares, it's about cloud computing, it's about cybersecurity and AI. I love this space because when I was a child, when I was 10 years, my mother got a computer for me, and that is what has made me where I am today. So the younger ones come in, adapt to change. It's all we have, adapt to change. Africa is the next Silicon Valley because the whites, I travel a lot, Canada, I've been to Canada, I've been to US, I've been to Germany, and the younger generation over there does not actually know how to use computers. They are not even doesn't know how to code and all that. But the younger ones here, there's a paradigm shift. It was in Africa, it moved to Europe, it moved to America, now it is Asia. Africa is the next big hub in IT, and we should embrace it. So that is what I will touch on for now. And I'm the CEO of Galaxy Aerospace. I'm spearheading taking Ghana to space by 2030. And that's what my team and I we are currently doing, and making sure that the generation coming, the pilots, the astronauts, the astrophysicists, and all those who want to be in the aerospace engineering discipline, they are what they call it, their dreams and vision does not go waste. The whole of Africa, South Africa is the only country in Africa that trains pilots. You just get from me and go and Google it. So it is a sad thing that Ghana, we do not have any place for training pilots or astronauts. I think the only school that does aerospace engineering is tech, and they don't train anything. There's no practical work that goes there. I've done my research. So what we are currently doing is we are building projects. That is the vision of Galaxy IT Group. With our subsidiary Galaxy Aerospace, we are just spearheading the fact that we want to build an aerospace company. And we've already started here at Winneba Enclave to APAM. So we're currently putting things in order to make sure that in the future, in the near future, children can come and learn piloting, fly their own planes here, and also build their own spacecrafts and just explore the space we are living in. So that's what basically I would like to talk about, and I'll leave the comments and the questions to ask after I've spoken. And recently, just about 2 months ago, we took Ghana to near space by building a balloon and attaching a payload camera to it in space. I think I don't have much time. I would have shown it to all of you, but I could just share my screen and just show you a gist of it. We actually took Ghana to a near space, and this is the first of its kind in Ghana. Nobody has ever done that before. So I'm going to share. Godfred, how much time do I have? Hello, Marlon, how much time do I have?
Yeah, please, we are just left with 2 minutes. So if you have anything, you can just share it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, so
Mr.
that's just a gist of what I did recently. So that what you can actually see space.
That's very interesting.
On edited version, you can actually see some of the stars and the planet, and it's so just crazy. We are building a lot of projects of this kind, and by the close of the year, we'll be launching a prototype of what we've designed so far at our Bumbura launch site, where you can come and view we taking a space rocket some few meters above the ground and coming to land safely on the ground, just like what SpaceX and NASA have been doing.
Yeah.
So it will actually go to space. It will just not space, but few meters above the ground, and it will just come and land as it's supposed to do. So we are really working on it. We have a lot of prototypes. We are doing a lot of crazy things. At the moment, we are not open to the public, but for our prototypes, we invite people to come and see what actually the space industry is trying to take off here in Ghana. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Mr. Victor, please, where is actually your branch, so that in case maybe you want to?
Yes, our branch is in Guma Budumburam after Kaswa, and our main site is at Winneba. That one it's about 200 acres of land, and we are doing a lot of crazy things out there. And in that one, we don't want to just bring people there. But here at Budumburam, you could always visit here. We have an office. You could get also, we have a T-shirt that we are giving it out for free, championing the cause of taking Ghana to space by 2030. It's free. And you could actually get some. So we are distributing it across the country. You'll be seeing it on social media and all that. We are very serious about this, and we started this project way back 2019, and we are still working on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation.
You're welcome.
I mean, this is very practical, so practical. And I would say that this is the first time I've seen someone who has been able to come up with such an innovation like this. And I would entreat everyone who is passionate about aeronautics, or who is passionate about maybe taking engineering course in aeronautics, to link up with Mr. Victor. Maybe URL as developed. So you can connect with him anytime and then ask him maybe questions, or maybe some something maybe you want to know about this from Mr. Victor. So thank you so much, Mr. Victor, to have you on board. And all right, thank you very much. Yeah, sorry. So if you want to leverage on tech, or maybe you want to enter into the tech space, I would say that you should take coding very seriously. Even though it's difficult, people normally run out from coding. Some people also start doing something on coding, and then get to a point where they leave it because they've not been able to get some theory or some practical aspect of it. So some have started coding though, but they've left it, it's become a redundant, and they are working on other things, even though they love tech. So let's coding be part of. You can start with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That's what I started with, and now I'm learning Python. So, but generally, you could also start with Python as a business language. So it also depends on what you want to create and which field you want to create it. Maybe you want to go into AI, you want to go into cybersecurity, you want to go into deep learning and neural networks, you want to go into data science. It depends on where you want to go. So I would entreat everyone to take code very seriously. Even though you love tech, just take it seriously. Thank you very much. So we move on to the last speaker, that is Mr. Bennett. And Dr. Bennett attended the Elon College, Indianapolis at USA, where he attended leadership with PhD. He's currently the chief consultant of the Box Breaker, which is based in Lagos, Abuja, and Uyo in Nigeria. He's the current global president of Kingdom Global Fellowship, and also the chief executive officer of the Avlet Design Group. And not to forget about his Christian core. He's a chief operating officer of the Source of Hope Christian Complex, and he's into ministry. He's a pastor. He's an event evangelist, and he's an American, but he lives here in Ghana, actually. And when we talk about the diasporas in Ghana, he's one of them, and he loves Ghana a lot. He explores Ghana. He even knows Ghana more than some of us, and he's trying to combine Ghana's resources, culture, and everything to and improve his skills. So without wasting much time, I want to introduce Dr. Bennett. this part of the call, I want to introduce you. So, Dr. Bennett Damian, please you can take over. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope everybody can hear me clearly.
Yes, please.
Wonderful. First, I would like to say thank you to the organizers of this event for inviting me and the other panelists who have spoken before me. Congratulations to all of the exciting things that are being done and explored on this platform and in the personal space of those speakers who are contributing to the great forward movement of technology in Africa. This meeting, I was told, was not only concentrating on the country of Africa, Ghana, but rather throughout the continent of Africa, and guests are coming from all over the place. So I would like to not go too deep, but to stay on a very vague and continental perspective in the topic that was given to me, and that is how to leverage technology in starting up a business. Well, as a serial entrepreneur myself, I I know that technology is extremely important. And what I love about Africa, and to the 33 people that are listening, is that Africa is one of the most exciting emerging economies, no matter which country you find yourself in on the continent. That means that the opportunities here are so vibrant in creating new businesses and new ideas. You know, with the population most of the population under 40 years old, young people are on the rise to really become the next voice of revolution that will bring Africa to the apex of change and progression. And for that, we are excited. Now, as we're talking about businesses, speaking in very general terms, starting a business is not easy. It's not simple. I own about 6 businesses on 6 different countries in Africa alone, and about 4 in the United States where I live. I live between Lagos and Accra, and starting a business is not a very simple one, especially when you're talking about a business that is scalable and the ingredients that make a business scalable, which is affordability and accessibility. In today's world, the internet has made all of us very closer than some of us would like to be with each other. But it has made us a global village where most of us are just a video call away or a voice call away. And the internet has made technology very, very in front of us, very much in our faces. And with the emerging minds that the last speaker was talking about, young people taking advantage of this particular space has also helped to bring us so many available opportunities through technology that can help a small business to scale. I want to focus on about 3 things because I only have 10 minutes. I want to focus on about 3 things that technology can really be very essential to the startup business, scaling and leveraging that business. And the first thing is when we're talking about building a brand that is sustainable. Building a brand that is sustainable begins with building the perception of the public around that brand. That means that you must have a very capable and visible social presence that is healthy, that is exciting and engaging. We are living in a generation of young people who love experiences, and those experiences is what interprets to the mind whether something is valuable or invaluable. And so when you're branding your small business, technology brings those branding opportunities much closer to you and even at a lower price. I remember the days when billboards were the crave, in my country at least. Billboards were everywhere, and they still are everywhere. And billboards were, every big business, every small business was looking to scale and they wanted to put a billboard up. But billboards were very expensive and time consuming. But billboards help build visible branding opportunities. But today, through technology, you can easily brand yourself and bring that business to a much larger audience, a more scalable audience, and a more concise audience that will actually patronize your services. Technology makes that happen. And so if you're a small business looking to scale your company, scale your brand, then definitely you need to look at technology, because technology today is the most affordable means in building your brand and building it effectively, healthy, and engaging, which is very important because it is that engaging or that engagement that brings that experience and that connectivity that merges the customer with the company itself. The second thing, because my time is quickly moving, is gathering data. A small business needs data in order to scale. We need to know what is being thought about our product. We need to know who is interacting with our product, whether it is that you're selling tomatoes in the market or you're selling ad space on your blog. We need data. Data is vital. Who is buying? What is the age group? And technology helps to make that possible. A small business that has just a room, you don't need big expensive machines to make this possible. You can just download an app that helps you to collect data from your customers and then interpret those data into something that you can understand in order to make your business grow and in order to satisfy your customers, know where they are, and know where you should also be leveraging your services. Last but not least, the next 2 minutes, I want to talk about customer service. Uh-oh. Customer service, customer service, customer service, customer service in Africa is a nightmare. It is a nightmare. It is a nightmare. Oh my goodness. It is a nightmare. And very important to the scalability of your company. We don't understand the importance of having good customer service and people who can represent our companies in the front end and in the back end of the services that we are providing. Technology actually brings customer service more automated, more precise, more concise, through chatbots on your website, through online calling, through video conferencing to customers who need a more personal encounter to diffuse problems or to dispute issues. You can harness technology to the best of its potential to really help you build such a sustainable, proper, and effective customer service platform. And last but not least, I did say 3, I'm sorry, I had 4. Last but not least is how you connect with your team and other partners in your business. Most small businesses survive through healthy partnerships with other companies and other businesses that we work together to build, to put a particular product on the market. And technology also helps to make that cycle a very seamless, exciting, and productive experience. Today, I don't have to always just get on the phone call and call you to make sure, did you pick up the package? I need you to deliver it to this person. You know, you can just have an app, put the address in, do so and so, track your meetings, and all of these exciting things helps to truly scale your business and allow your business to grow. And so with that, my time is up. I am now at 9:52. That was the time given to me. I digress. God bless you. I am Dr. David S.C. Bennett, president of Box Breaker, which is what I'm representing here today. Thank you to our Fred and to all of you wonderful young people. I am so extremely proud of you and what you guys are doing and the type of mental acuity that is coming out of Africa. Africa is poised not only to be the next Silicon Valley, as the other speaker has said, but I truly believe that when Africans truly look internally and within their own borders for the answers to the solutions to the problems that are plaguing their countries and the continent, we are not only poised to be the next Silicon Valley, but we can really become the leading conversationalists on the global table. We really have what it takes, and it is now time to harness those opportunities and make our voices be heard. Thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you, Dr. Bennett, for such a wonderful presentation. Dr. Bennett speaks about customer service, and I think for most of us who have interest or passion in business development, we actually bring customer service as the key. And there is a way we can handle customer, that's customer integration. So I want to thank you, Dr. Bennett, for such a wonderful presentation. And there are questions that fit, and someone is asking, how do we scale when the person doesn't have money? How is the person able to scale when he or she doesn't have a business? Yes, please.
Is that question for me?
Yes, please. Like how the person is able to scale when he or she doesn't have money.
All right. Scaling businesses without money. Scaling businesses without money is my specialty. Because sometimes we look at finances as the big elephant in the room, but finances are really just the result of innovation, having innovative mentalities and becoming more imaginative in how we can scale. Scaling businesses without finances really just begins, and I hope the listener is hearing, really begins with how we build partnerships and how we leverage our ideas with other people who can become the people that assist us in leveraging and scaling that business. Sometimes you do not need to have the monies in your own pocket, but you need to be able to communicate your vision with such clarity that those who hear you can partner with you. Another way to leverage your business without money, even if you don't have the abilities to build partnerships, is of free technology that is available it properly into our vision and our we can even reach some of these things. Invest the time in doing your homework, communicating your ideas to other people who may also be able to assist you in building and scaling your brand. I hope that answers your question in this short period of time. Your mic is off.
Yeah, sorry. So regarding the question and answer to the question, the person you can also seek for seed funding. There are angel investors. There are people who are ready to invest in people's ideas. There are people who want to incubate ideas, and there are also people who want to accelerate ideas. That's how come we have startups of today who are able to accelerate their ideas into a reality. So you can pitch your idea and then you obtain a seed funding. So that's one of the ways you can, yeah. So
And in if I can piggyback on you, when I said to very communicate your vision properly,
yeah,
because even when you are talking about receiving grants and receiving funding, angel investment funding, you must be able to read the fine print. Be very, very meticulous in how you read those contracts, because you want to be able to build a partnership with an investor that has your interests at mind and not just their bottom line.
okay, thank you, Doctor. Someone would want to know finances on entrepreneurship. The person wants you to share something about finances when it comes to entrepreneurship, and especially when you are starting as a startup, like other financial sources or mobilizing funds to enter into the entrepreneurship space. Yeah.
Mobilizing funds, I think it's the same question as before, unless she can be a little bit more specific. But mobilizing funds to start up your business can come from a plethora of existing opportunities out there. It really just takes homework and being able to really dig into those available resources. Resources are available, actually. There are more available money out there to start our businesses than we think, but it's not going to come to you. You have to go and seek for it, which means now that go on, again, here's how technology helps us. Go on websites, go on these types of opportunity. And I'm going to tell you, the first speaker talked about cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency is also a great way to raise funds, especially on crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is an absolutely enormous way to harness your already established social space to really help you raise your money that you want to do. So crowdfunding is one of the easiest and most cheapest and cost-effective ways to raise money if you learn how to use technology to harness the already social space that you have established. And just again, doing your homework. Listen, nothing comes free today, and nothing comes by sitting down in your house, looking at the ceiling, wondering about what it takes to make your business grow. You have to do the work. Great ideas ends with lazy people.
All right, thank you very much for such an answer. So we are yet to go to the next stage, which is your questions time. So some people have asked questions, and I throw this question to the speakers. Any of you can answer. And we have one question which says, what steps can we take as young people right now to make the dream of Silicon Valley in Africa? What steps can we take as young people right now to make the dream of African Silicon Valley come true? Yeah. So basically anyone can answer, any of the speakers. So as young people, what can we do like to make the African Silicon Valley come true?
Well,
Mr. Victor, please, you are muted.
Okay.
Mr. Victor, please, you are muted.
I think the first thing I'll talk about is we are living in a generation of practicals. Do it and let's see. So I'll encourage the younger generation that you don't need to be in a classroom for someone to teach you before you can become somebody. You have a smartphone, you have an internet, you have YouTube, you have Google, you can be who you want to be. So most of the youths coming now, going to the universities, using theory-based information and knowledge to solve problems, it doesn't work that way. Go to YouTube, whatever you want to learn, it is over there. You can absolutely learn something on your own to be whatever you want to become in this generation. Self-learning is the future, nothing else, nothing more. And take technology seriously. Coding using Python programming language should be taken seriously to help problem-solving skills in our society. Because in Ghana here, there are a lot of problems that need practical emergency. It doesn't need theory to define and experiment. It's just practicals. Then we are off solving problems.
That's very true. Thank you very much, Mr. Victor. So this is about self-learning. And you know, if you want to have skill in something, you can actually go to YouTube. You get more videos about. Even that one is, I'll say like a little bit better than the college lesson, because for college the students are maybe and they don't have time for each or a specific students. So for self-learning or maybe taking courses online, it helps a lot. So if you want to make the African Silicon Valley country, I would say that you can go to YouTube, you can take courses, or maybe you can also partner with someone who has a specific knowledge in something. I know most of you know how to want to code, like you have passion in coding, but you want to create something and you don't have the engineering aspect, you don't have any skill in engineering. So you can go to someone who knows anything, something about engineering. Maybe the person has an idea about creating a complement, or maybe something that can just bring your idea to reality. Just go to that person and then you create partnership with that person, and then you can just start something from there. And I'm part of a community that's the IoT Network app. And this is a community where people come on board in all fields, graphic design, AI, machine learning, agent. We bring a gas detector that's able to detect gas leakage. So someone knows the hardware parts, another person knows the software parts. So you can partner with someone and then you can just start from there. So thank you, Mr. Victor, for that question. Now we have the next question. This is that, and that's all right. So this question is actually directed to Madam Mary. I don't know whether she's on the call. So this question is saying that how do I invest in cryptocurrency and not get scammed? We've been hearing about scam and lots, and even recently I've heard China is trying to ban cryptocurrency in their country, and there are some countries too who are bringing up policies to be able to restrict cryptocurrency in their country. So the person is asking how it's able to invest in cryptocurrency and not get scammed.
Right. Thank you so much for the question. It's a really interesting one. So speaking to a lot of people, I think that's a general thing that you come across. Oh, I got scammed, I've heard of the scam and everything. One thing I would like to start with is, first of all, ignorance is the problem. That's number one. Whatever you do or in whatever field you get yourself into, the first step to avoiding problems and the first step to success is to actually get yourself very acquainted, as knowledgeable as possible in whatever you want to do. So for the question, I would say the first step to not getting scammed is to actually learn about cryptocurrencies. You will not be able to avoid problems if you don't know what the problems are. Or if you don't know where they can come from. So, you know, and that's another thing we're trying to do at Metaport, to help people actually understand. So when we realize that in Africa, you hear people say, oh, this one is a scam, the other one is a scam. But first of all, get to understand what concepts actually drive cryptocurrencies. So like I said, the blockchain technology and all that. Get to understand what the blockchain technology is, get to understand the different types of cryptocurrencies, understand how it works. So if you say you want to invest in cryptocurrency and not get scammed, I would say not getting scammed is you trading yourself. So you hear situations where people say, oh, this person asked me to give him money to help me trade. It really doesn't work that way. If you want to invest your money, it's either you go to a professional investor to help you invest your money, or you do it yourself. If you have somebody come up to you and tell you, oh, I can help you turn $100 to $1,000, it's most likely going to be a scam. Why? Because that person doesn't have any control over the market. You can wake up tomorrow, like yesterday, Bitcoin was 20,000. You wake up this morning, it's 21,000. For all you know, you can wake up next tomorrow and see that it is 10,000. The person has absolutely no control over the market. So if this person is getting your money and telling you, oh, I'm going to bring so returns on it, there's something we say, not financial advice. You cannot really say what the market is going to do tomorrow. So first step to not getting scammed is know your stuff, know what space you're getting into, be able to learn as much as possible about how cryptocurrencies work, what to do and what not to do. The first step I would say is learning, because if you do not know, you cannot avoid it. That is just what it is. And nobody is going to magically turn $1,000 into $10,000 for you. That's not how it works. It's trading. That is what it is. So it is either you use cryptocurrencies to trade, or you use it as a means of investment, or you use it as a means of taking money, like making payments. So it can be used in 3 ways so far. So you need to be able to understand these things and know how to make your money work for you, or leave it in your account or whatever. But do not give people money to help you trade. It's a serious red flag. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So, any of the speakers who can come in to answer this question? Mr. Victor or Dr. Daniel, if you have any answer to this question, please you can come and speak. If not, then I move to the next question. All right.
I didn't hear what you just said.
So the question is that, how do I invest in cryptocurrency and not get scammed? How do I invest in cryptocurrency and not get scammed? Yeah.
Well, for me, I do have a company that does cryptocurrency education, training, and investment counseling here in Ghana, actually, and we have an office in Nigeria. And the young lady spoke so very eloquently about what it takes. And so for me, I always tell people, just come, this is a word, I don't want anyone to be offended by it, but if we can just get rid of our greed quotient, then we can hear properly. We can hear properly the truth about investing in any type of investing platforms, including cryptocurrency is a very powerful means of making money and leveraging on your financial portfolio. But it does take homework, and it takes really understanding it. So going in it without knowledge is definitely the largest mistake you can make. Finding someone who is trustworthy, who has a proven track record, not just someone you know down the street who is, driving the latest car or wearing the nicest clothes, but someone who has a proven track record in financial sustainability in all investment platforms. These are things you need to look at, not the greed quotient. Okay.
Thank you very much. So, to infer from Dr. Daniel and Mrs. Mary, they are actually speaking that don't ever go to someone and trade with such a person. You can get scammed. There are professional and then approved official websites where you can actually trade in Bitcoin. And I'll give you one. You can visit Yellow Card. Yellow Card is a website where you can trade in Bitcoin. So how do you trade? What you can do is that you buy a Bitcoin, you store it. When the Bitcoin either rises or falls, that is when you trade. So you can visit Yellow Card. you can trade in Bitcoin, that's cryptocurrency. And one thing I like about Yellow Card is that you can actually withdraw in mobile money, and you can also pay using your mobile money accounts. So that is an approved way of trading Bitcoin. And this is preferred over someone whom you know and you give your money to, or someone whom you don't know and you give your money to trade. The person can scam you or get away with your money. So you can also go to Novatech. Novatech is also a trading platform. And if you want to invest in Bitcoin, investment has to do with you like so putting your Bitcoin down for today, and then maybe it reaps a benefit in the future. So you can either invest or you can either trade. So depending on whichever way you want it. So thank you for the answer to the questions. We move on to the next question, which says that how can our parents or old people benefit from the metaverse or the Web3? How can our parents or old people benefit from the Meta or the Web3? And it's directed to Mary. She going to present on the Web3. So the question is that how can our parents or old people benefit from the Meta? You know, it's our generation. We are in the Gen Z spirit. And when you talk about metaverse or Web3 to an old person, the person with the gray hair, it's quite difficult for the person to catch up really fast on what you are talking about because their time is gone. So, so how can we let them know about the Web3 or the metaverse? Like, how can we train them to that field so that they also get knowledge about that? Yeah, thank you very much.
Right. So it's quite interesting that you asked this question because I'll still have to take you back to what Metaport does, which is really interesting. So our major focus is to break down teaching into bite sizes. We're trying to break down content for consumption for people into really bite sizes and make it as relatable as possible. So, for example, if you visit our website, which is metaport.co, what you're going to see is animated videos of about 2 minutes explaining in very relatable terms what cryptocurrency is, what blockchain is. So it's structured in such a way that it's for newbies. If you know absolutely nothing about cryptocurrencies and blockchain, all you need to do is watch videos on our platform. So you'd see things like relating crypto and blockchain to, the regular woman who has a shop, who is trading. We make it as relatable as possible to somebody who doesn't have an idea. So the idea is to be able to make the content consumable for young children and also consumable for old people, not go into all the crypto jargons, or make it as relatable to the everyday person as possible. So that's our focus. And I think that for our parents, I'll start with your mom as an example. When our parents get to watch these videos, yes, they might not completely grasp it, because to be honest, I'll tell you that even when I was trying to learn about crypto and the blockchain, it could be it's a lot. It could be a daunting, and not straightforward road, but it's interesting that gradually you see that when you're talking to them about these things, they can relate to terms. They now understand what decentralization is. Gradually, they are getting the idea of what Web3 is all about. Also, they'll tell you, it was always a concern for my mother when she started using WhatsApp. And she'd tell you, that she feels like maybe somebody's monitoring her or something is happening. So when you try to explain in such a way that, hey, okay, yes, I get your reservation about this, but this is how Web3 is different. This is what it could do for you. It piques their interest. Although they might not be able to exploit to the limits that we can as young people, because we are actively into technology and trying to build on things and expand things. But I think with education and exposure, there's coming a time where our parents will be able to comfortably, just like they can do Momo right now, will comfortably be able to send and receive cryptocurrencies. They'll be able to actually partake in one or two activities that are blockchain related. I think that time is coming, and it's very close. It's closer than we think, because these times, all these things are going around. They are hearing it from left and right. Even my mother knows what Bitcoin is. Like she reads news about Bitcoin and stuff. So I think gradually with education and continuous exposure, there would be a lot more familiarity of our parents with these technologies. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So, Dr. Damian and Mr. Victor, any of you can complete and answer the question. Dr. Damian is actually one who knows much about tech, and we have people like him who don't even have knowledge about this. So I see him as someone who is who takes learning not for granted and research. He researches and then learns much about what's happening around. So Dr. Daniel and Mr. Victor, you can just answer the question. The question is, how can our parents or old people benefit better when they're with three? Yeah.
Well, for me, my contribution to the answer that Miss Mary spoke, and Miss Mary, I would love to dialogue with you more often. And to all of you gentlemen, for Mr. Victor, I would love to visit your space camp. Please send an invitation with my team and I have 9 people working in my Ghana office, and I would love to come and visit your camp. To all of you, you're doing such a wonderful job. But let me tell you the key to getting older people involved is including them and making it exciting. Older people actually, the disdain they have for technology is not really real. It's just they don't understand, they cannot relate. And so when we don't know how to do something, most of the time we put out an attitude of disdainment and anger. But really, it's just simply that they don't understand or they cannot relate. So young people now should take this opportunity to incorporate technology into the conversations with their parents, incorporate it in such a way that it becomes it makes them involved in it. And then you will begin to see a bridge that will be built. And my mom, for example, she buys the latest iPhones and can't use them. Soon as a new iPhone come out, she don't know what she's doing with the iPhone, but she just wants to be on the latest ownership of the iPhone because her grandson talks to her all about, Grandma, you gotta have an iPhone, you gotta have an iPhone. And she don't know what she's doing. But when she goes out and purchases, she brings the boy with her and it builds connection. And then she uses it actually to even strengthen her relationship with him because he's the one that's teaching her how to use it. And so it's just about young people understanding that don't use technology to build a gap between you and your parents, but use it to actually build a bridge. Get them involved in what you're doing. Talk to them with patience and with understanding and with relatability. And you will see great things come out of it as a result.
Thank you so much for this response. And there's a saying that an entity made up of old people is full of history, and an entity made up of young people is full of future. So we are the future, and if we have knowledge in something, there's a way we can relate it in a way that maybe they'll be able to understand. Maybe probably we can explain it much in our dialects so that they'll be able to understand, or maybe use an illustration. So whichever way you fit with, be able to get the person's attention or be able to get the person's mind to accept whatever you are saying. We should use it, or we should just apply such. We can really apply theories. All right, thank you very much. So there is an interesting question here. We have our last 2 questions to end the session. And Mr. Victor, this question is directed. The question is that, is the Earth flat or round, and why? Is the earth flat or round? And why?
The earth is never flat. I think from the video that I showed you, the balloon, the high altitude balloon went about 120,000 feet above the earth's surface. And you could actually see that the world is a globe. It's never flat. The world can never be flat. Even when you see some planets, it's just like a ball kind of thing. So the earth is not flat. So for those of us who think that the earth is flat, is either than that, there will be day throughout the day, if I may add, if I may say, and there will be no night, because while the sun shines on all parts of the world, other people will not have night. So basically, that is the basic explanation of it. That is why the world is a globe. Some parts of the globe or the ball faces the sun, and the other side is facing the other side in space. Space is dark. Space is void. We can get sunlight just because that we have light reflection from the sun. So the earth is a globe. So those of you who want to see the video, it is on YouTube. You can just type Galaxy Aerospace Ghana. You could actually watch the full video to see that the world itself is just a global thing. It's not flat. The world, it can be flat. It can be flat.
All right. So the first crew, that is the Apollo 11, set their mission to space, and they, according to their perspective, that's what they saw, was that they see a big round ball, and they thought it was just circular, but they had to go beyond it to marginalize that maybe there is something at the back. They just saw it to their view, like what they see that in their own perspective, the earth is circular. So they decided that, oh, let's just go around it and then see what maybe is at the back. So what they did was that they orbited around the earth. They orbited, and then they came to the conclusion that the earth was sphere. It was spherical. It's not round. It's spherical. Round means that it just 2D something. Yes, wrong. But spherical is 3D.
Yes.
So they realized that the earth was spherical. That is not flat. Yes. And even there are people who still don't believe that NASA exists. Who still don't believe that there's something like the universe. Who still don't believe that there's something like a space. So, Mr. Victor, thank you very much for your answer. And we have our last question to end up with you. That's, why do you think going to space is important? This is the last question, so we round up. Why do you think going to space is important?
You see, I think astronomy basically is not taught in schools. So most people do not even know that we are living in a world which is spherical, as you said. And most people think that we are living on a flat surface and we just be going here and be coming here and all that. Going to space is really build our consciousness. When I say consciousness, our awareness as human beings, because there are other civilizations elsewhere. So if you have heard about aliens living on other planets and all that, yes, because we are living in a galaxy. Galaxy is made up of millions of solar systems. And within this galaxy, we have 3 billion suns. So just within our galaxy, we have 3 billion suns. And out of these suns, we have a lot of planets orbiting them. So there's life forms out there, and there are other civilizations who are very much advanced in technology like us. So going to space and exploring these things and meeting other beings from other worlds will really build our consciousness of we should also building a high-tech civilized world. And that's what we are actually doing. Please, I hope you understand. Exploring other stars, the stars in the universe is like a grain of sand on Earth. There are billions and trillions of stars out there. And of course, our sun is just part of it. There are other galaxies too out there built with solar system. So the concept of space is really, really endless. And learning these things builds your consciousness and your mind that, hey, there are other worlds out there. A lot of people have been following me on LinkedIn, and I've been sharing a lot of findings and research my team are doing, people are not conscious, people are not aware that this is what is really out there. Our Earth is just, we being in the solar system is just like an ant in the universe. The universe is so big, and we are discovering that one day aliens will just come to Earth. I think there was a project, somebody sent me from NASA, that we could actually build. I think that was about 2 days ago. Someone in NASA sent me about 50 million US dollars project, and that Ghana, we could build a space embassy here. And I told them that, hey, the project is nice, we could actually do it, but Ghana is not ready for this. Bringing aliens to Ghana, whilst people even don't have the consciousness of understanding how the universe works, I told them that it's actually not going to work. So we are not interested in such projects, because they are building embassies for aliens, because by 2030 to 2040, aliens will automatically visit Earth in the physical form for people to see them on TV and all that, which we are preparing for. So basically, going to space is really about consciousness. That's the way. It helps us to explore the universe. It helps us to also know what is out there, because knowledge is really, really out there. So that's why I will always just tell people, and the person who asks the question, going to space will really build our consciousness to become a multiplanetary species. So basically, that's the best explanation I'll give.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So basically, once we watch movies, the projection of the future and everything, that's what something they are trying to implement, or something they are trying to bring on board. And someone also said aliens really exist. And for this question, NASA is saying that aliens exist somewhere else. And currently, they are trying to adapt a technology, an AI technology, that's able to go into space and able to predict whether aliens are going to reform. Or
Excuse me. Yeah, I don't want to cut in. Aliens actually exist because there's purpose. We are not alone in the universe. Aliens exist, and I remember when I was in Scotland, I even saw an alien ship in Scotland that came down to the Earth, and they visit Earth all the time. It's just that our government are covering up, especially in the US. They just don't want people to know about it and all that. But aliens do exist, and they visit our Earth all the time, almost all the time, especially from longitude. When you look at the Earth, there are some specific places that they visit, like Southern and Northern America. Mostly those are the places they visit, but not our part here in Africa. Because of the coordinates normally they use to visit Earth. So aliens do exist, and they visited the Earth, and our government have seen them and communicated with them to share technology. They are highly advanced species in the cosmos. So aliens do exist, but governments have been covering up for years and generations. So that's what I would say.
All right, thank you very much. Guys, it's getting to time. We need to round up. But Dr. Damian, this is like you have anything to add concerning the space, things about space and lunatics. Do you have anything to add?
Well, as you know, this conversation about the earth being round and flat is something that really should no longer be a question. The Bible says in Isaiah chapter 40 that the Lord sits on the circle of the earth. So, you know, the conversation about the earth being round and flat should not even no longer be a question in this particular year and time. That is no offense to the person who's asking the question, but that is something that has been well proven. As far as universes are concerned, that is a much long conversation, but the scriptures, which I preach and teach, has never spoken against the idea of aliens or other life forms. We know that God created a universe, and he created the universe with major planetary systems in operation. And the earth is his youngest universe at the time that the Bible was being recorded. So I am not against, and I don't think any right thinking person is against the ideas of aliens or life forms in other solar systems. However, the exploration of those things are always being done by those countries who have the technology and the finances to lead those charges. What we must do is just always be aware and abreast of where we are and our contributions to that. As all of the panelists have said today, it takes a young people that is resilient in becoming a part of the conversation and not just commentating on it. Become a part of it by becoming very involved in the questions that you're asking. Not just ask them, but become involved in the conversation by putting your hands to the plow and really, really involving yourself in a forward moving Ghana, a forward moving Africa, and become a part of the conversation. So with that, I digress.
All right.
But I can tell you this, when they build the first shuttle to go there for commercial use, I want to buy a ticket.
Okay.
That's a second. So everyone in his own way, like has a way of explaining whether aliens exist. So we all have our different views. But me personally, I don't believe that aliens exist. That's the hard truth. Why we all have our views anyway. So thank you, speakers, for joining this call, and we are running up with the program. So thank you for speakers. Thank you for your presentation, and we are here to give our closing remarks. But before that, guys, do you know Google have their branch in Ghana? Does anyone know that Google has its branch in Ghana? Yeah, Google do have their branch in Ghana. Yeah, I would have shown you some pictures, but for the sake of time, I would want to invite the one giving the welcome remarks. So Jennifer, yeah, you can take on there. We invite Jennifer to give those remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlon. My name is Jennifer, and I just want to say something. I've really learned a lot today. It's really been insightful. For a second, I didn't think aliens really existed, but apparently they do. So I just want to say that I hope you all enjoyed the event and learned something, because I really did. This event is an initiative powered by the top-notch team of Global Startup Ecosystem, GSE Ghana Accelerator 2022 program. The top-notch team wants to first and foremost thank the GSE team for such a great opportunity and support. We wouldn't have been here without them. We want to thank our speakers, Ms. Mary, Mr. Victor, Dr. Dana, for coming through to educate us on the dawn of Ghana's tech industry and what it means to the youth. This wouldn't have been able to take place or be a success without you. And we cannot forget our audience. Thank you all so much for coming, for attending the event, and we hope you learned a lot and that you can apply this to your various careers and also pass the knowledge on. This world is moving fast, and we need to move with this and not be left behind. Once again, my name is Jennifer Sieju, and once again, thank you all for coming to our maiden edition of the Ghana Tech Revolution. It was an honor and a pleasure to have you all here today. We hope to see you soon, and please have a nice day. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. So we can now assist our calls, link up, go through the chat feeds, connect to the right ones, look for internships, be part of the Ghana space, be part of Novotech, be part of cryptocurrencies, and also to let's be self-learning. Because in this space, if you don't learn, the next thing you are out. So it's very good to be insightful and keep on learning. But when the aliens come, they'll be like, bro, you speak Java, bro, you speak Kotlin. If you're not out, if you don't know anything, you'll be like, you be a kid. You are seeing it in the movies, and it's going to happen in reality. Let's take little things serious and let's do our best. Thank you very much.
Thank you. In case you want to connect with any of the speakers, please, you can open the chat feed, it's there, so that you connect with them via LinkedIn. Thank you very much.